Hi friends, this lesson is for Module 2, Lesson 20. You know what, last night I was thinking about subtraction. I really like subtraction. I really like the way when we have a number sentence like 17 minus 8, we can do a really nice job of drawing our good picture of 17, showing that good process of subtracting the 8 so that we can find our answer. It looks something like this. We draw 17. Of course, we're going to use our 5 groups because that's a practitioner skill that we've been really working on. We subtract 8 from a 10. So there's my 10 group right there. I can subtract my 8, showing a line to show my good thinking in that process of subtraction. And then, of course, I have the parts that are left over, 2 and 7. And then I add those pieces together to get my answer of 9. But as much as I like subtraction, I love addition even more. So I was thinking, we've kind of talked about a little bit how you can use counting on or adding up to help solve a subtraction problem. But today I thought we'd do the same thing using a number path instead of just drawing circles like Sid did yesterday in the video. So here's a number path. Now if I'm going to add up, I'm going to start at the number that I'm subtracting. In this case, I'm subtracting the number 8. I'm going to go ahead and circle it. Then, you know at the bottom, do you see how I circled the 10 and then I subtracted the 8? But I used that 10 group. We've been using 10 groups a lot, so I'm going to keep with that. So instead of jumping all the way to 17, first I'm going to jump to 8, from 8 to 10. Okay, so I'm going to jump all the way to the 10. It's kind of like at the bottom where I circled my 10 group. I'm just going to jump to 10 so I can do it into parts. So I want to write how many I had to jump to get from 8 to 10, or how many I had to add to 8 to get to 10. Well, I know if I have 8 and I look at my counting 6, I just need 2 more to get to 10. I also know, because I could start at 8 and then count up how many jumps I'd have to do to get to 10. 8, 9, 10. I had to do 2 jumps. So I'm going to go ahead and say 8 plus 2 more will get me to 10. Now that I'm at 10, I'm going to jump all the way to 17. Now if I have 10, and I know that that's a part of 17, what's the other part of 17 if I've already taken out the 10? Yep, you're right, 7. All I have to do now is add 7 plus 2 more to get 9. And then that will be my answer for the problem 17 minus 8. Do you notice anything about the jumping on my number path and the picture I drew at the bottom of subtracting? Yeah, you're right. Do you see how I had part that was left over after I subtracted my 8 from the 10 was 2? But when I did that first jump, that was 2? That's because I was just finishing up the 10. And then the other part that I see is I had 7 in that last jump on my number path. And then at the bottom I had 7 Mickeys left in my picture. My picture is just a shortcut version of doing that good work at the bottom. You know, this is going to be really fun today. It is a little tricky, but I think you can do it. Our learning goal says, I can use addition to help solve a subtraction question. And for today specifically, we're going to be using a number path. Okay, friend, I know that all of you love to draw on your dry erase board or in your math journal as we're doing the good work. Today I'm going to have you go ahead and close your marker, set your pencil down, because I would like you to watch first for the first few things, because I don't want you to have to waste your time writing a number path from 1 all the way to 20 every single time we do a new number, we do a new problem. So just watch for a little bit, and then I'll show you how we can add up on a number path without having to draw all those numbers. So you're kind of on a mini vacation, and I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. If I have 13 minus 7, I'm going to try to add up on my number path just like my goal recommends that I do. So here we go. We're going to start by circling the number that we're subtracting. So friend, what number should I circle on my number path? Yep, that's right, 7. And now I'm going to jump to a 10. There we go. How many did I add to 7 to get all the way up to 10? You can go ahead and count the jumps from 7. So then I went to 8, 9, 10. I had to jump 3 jumps to get all the way to 10. Now if I'm going to 13 and I took out a 10, how many more jumps do I need to do? Did you say 3? Yeah, you're right, because 3 would be the other part. So that must mean that 13 minus 7 is equal to the 3 plus 3, or 6. Let's see. Let's try planning it out in our picture and see if that happens the same way, if we get the same answer. If I have 13 minis, there's my 10 group right there. I'm going to subtract my 7, just like I've been doing. And now how many minis do you see left? Do you see 6? Oh, good. I do. I see 3 minis that are part of that circled 10 group, and then 3 that I haven't even used. Hey, that does match my number path at the top. All right, this does work. All right, so 13 minus 7 must equal 6. All right, this one says 15 minus 9. I'm going to do the exact same thing, but this time I'm not going to use my picture because hopefully you're seeing the connection between the two. I'm just going to use the number path. There it is. Do you remember where I start? What number I'm going to circle on the number path? Yep, that's right. I'm going to circle the 9 because that's the number I'm subtracting. I'm going to go ahead and circle the 9. And then what's the first thing we jump to? Yeah, the 10. Because we want to make sure that we're subtracting out of that 10 group, so we can just make a 10. So if I'm at 9, how many jumps do I need to make to get to a 10? That's right, 1. Now if our original whole amount was 15, and I already have the 10 taken care of, what's the other part of 15 if one part is 10? Yeah, the next part is 5. If I wasn't sure, I could just draw a line jumping all the way there and see how many jumps I had to take. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go, or 5 more jumps. My answer should be the total of when I add those two jumps together. So 1 plus 5 equals 6. That's right, friend. Good job. All right, let's try it again. This time I'm going to do 16 minus 8. There's my number path. I'm going to go ahead and circle the number that I'm going to start with. So what number am I going to start with jumping? That's right, 8, because that's the number I'm subtracting. I'm going to start at 8, then I'm going to jump to a 10. How many do you add to 8 to get to 10? Yep, 2. So that's what number I'm going to write above my jump. And then I'm going all the way to 16. What number do I add to, if part of 16, one of the parts of 16 is 10, the other part is 6? If I wasn't sure, I could just count up and see how many jumps I'd have to make from 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep, that's 6 jumps. Now I just have to add those 2 jumps together. 2 plus 6. I'm going to say 6 and add up 2. 6, 7, 8. So 16 minus 8 equals 8. Okay, friend, remember how I said that you could take a vacation from doing your dry erase board or your math journal? Well, now vacation's over. Make sure that you have your dry erase board ready or your math journal because we're going to go ahead and do this next one together. All right, here we go. The number at the top of your dry erase board that you need to write is 12 minus 9. That's our good number sentence we're going to be working with. I know that we've been using a number path, but for this one we're not going to. I'm going to show you how to use a number path without actually having to write out one every single time. Because sometimes when we're solving subtraction problems, we don't have a number path sitting in front of us. So we need to figure out how we can still use a number path without actually having one. So adios, number path. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to still start with the number we're subtracting. What number are we subtracting? Yep, 9. Go ahead and write 9 on your paper or on your board. Now, the first thing we always jump to is 10. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a little bit of space, and I'm going to write the number 10. Oh, sorry, I showed you that I was jumping. So my jump is going to leave a little bit of space, and I'm going to write the number 10. Because that's what I'm always going to jump to first, is that 10. Now if I'm at 9, how many more do I need to add to get to 10? Yep, a 1. So right above where I jumped, I'm going to write 1. I wrote plus 1 to show that I was adding on. You can write plus 1 as well, if that's going to help you. Now I'm at 10, but I see the whole amount as 12. So I know the next jump I'm going to make is to a 12. So do you see how I left some space in between the 10 and the 12? That's just to remind me that I'm jumping from 10 all the way to 12. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my nice jump. If I'm at 10, how many more do I need to add to get to 12? Yep, 2. So I'm going to write that right above my jump. All right, that's it. We started at 9, we jumped all the way up to 12. So now I can just add those two jumps together. 1 plus 2 equals, yep, 3. Good job, friend. See, we were able to jump on a number path without even having a number path there. Ooh, we are so good. Let's try it again. This one says 15 minus 7. Go ahead and erase your board or find a new spot in your math journal because we're going to go ahead and try this one. All right, what number are we going to start with to start our jumps? Yep, it's going to be the one that we're subtracting, and we're subtracting, you've got it, 7. So I'm going to go ahead and write a 7. Can you go ahead and draw a jump and then show me where you're going to land? What number do we jump to first? Did you say 10? Well done. Yeah, we're going to jump to a 10 first. So what I did is I made a nice big jump, and then I wrote the number 10 to show me where I'm jumping to. What number am I going to write above that jump? Yeah, if you don't remember, I'm going to write the number that I have to add to 7 to get to 10. 7, and I can count up. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I had to add 3, so that's what I'm going to write above my jump. Now, can you go ahead, draw your next jump, and then write where you're going to land? It should be the whole amount that we started with. Okay, let's check yourself. I did my whole jump, and I'm going to jump to the whole amount. Well, if I look at the number sentence, the whole amount was 15, because it said 15 minus 7. So I know the whole amount that we need to get to is to 15. So I'm going to write 15. I'm going to make my jump, showing I went from 10 all the way to 15. Well, if I have 10, how many more do I need to add to get to 15? Yeah, 5. All I have to do now is add 3 plus 5. I can just count up 5, 6, 7, 8. So the answer is 8. All right, friend, go ahead and erase your board. We're going to try another one. This time I want you to go ahead and I want you to try to solve it. We're going to start at 8. We're going to do our good jump to 10. And then I want you to figure out what should that answer be that's going to go above there. Okay, did you do that? Good job. I'm not going to tell you because this is actually the one you're going to seesaw to your teacher. Okay, if I'm at 10, I need to jump to the whole amount. So that whole amount would be 14, right? I'm going to show my good jump. What you need to do is you need to fill in how many more would have been on that jump. And then after you've added your two jumps together, you'll have the whole amount. Okay, so this is the problem you're seesawing to your teacher. It says 14 minus 8. I've gotten you all set up. Obviously, you don't have to draw those arrows, friends, but you do have to do 14 minus 8, start at 8, show that you've jumped to 10. At the top of that jump, write down how many you need to add to 8 to get to 10, and then show your jump to 14, or the whole amount. If you're at 10, how many do you need to add to get to 14? Write that above your jump. Then you'll add those two jumps together to get your final answer. This is our learning goal that we've had of trying to use addition to help us solve a subtraction problem. This is how we're going to do it today. We're using a number path to count on. Good luck, friend.